a very good friend of mine, Suzi Landolphi. The first time I heard this story, this is a very touching story about family and life. And I'm a good friend of Suzi's, plus she takes my Zumba class every Saturday morning. There she goes. Look at this. This is what you could get if you took Zumba every Saturday. Just like that.
Oh, yeah. All those people clapping, those are just friends of mine from farmersonly.com. Don't worry. Okay, so love. We're told to wait for it. Yeah, okay. If that doesn't work, find it. Go looking. If that doesn't work, fall in it. I'm telling you, at my age, I don't have that much time. That's too much work, and I could break a hip. It's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, it does. It did. It has. I mean, he's got this beautiful brown wavy hair and big brown eyes, and he's an athlete, and he loves to cook, he loves sushi, he loves music, he can dance, and he's a social warrior, social justice warrior. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best. But actually the best thing is that he calls me, I don't know if I should say this, he calls me G-Ma. That's right, he's my grandson, and I'm so in love with him. He's amazing. No, really, seriously. Now, I brought up a girl, so I just have a daughter. So when I got this boy, and I love sports, I taught him how to swing a baseball bat. Like, for real. And he's super good at it. And you know what he taught me? He taught me how to paint my face blue, just because you can. It's just a good thing. And then we would have music together and read books and stories, and it was bliss. And then, let's say, I would say about 3 months before he turned 5, he was diagnosed with leukemia. And it was hell. I mean, I'm talking living in a hospital more than at home. I'm talking chemo, IVs. I'm talking needles that were this long that had to go into his thighs at the exact same time. I'm talking nausea, and he lost his hair so many times, we lost count. One time I said to him, I'm gonna shave my head with you this time. And he goes, no, G-Ma, you won't look good. I said, no, don't, please, don't. So anyway, we go through this battle together as a family with the doctors and the nurses, and we won. On my daughter's 40th birthday, what are the odds that she got to give him his final dose of chemo? And we went out and celebrated. And every day after that, this little boy got to do all the things that he didn't get to do. I mean, we turned the house upside down with Nerf gun wars. And we did, oh my God, we went to every baseball game. He played every game he could. We went everywhere we could to just have joy. And it was amazing. And then 3 months later, seems to be an odd number that keeps happening in my life, my daughter comes to my bedroom door, and she stands there just 2 seconds too long before she starts to speak. And my heart goes in my throat. And she says, one of Logan's testicles is 3 times the size of the other one. So we all jump in the car, and we drive to the hospital, and we go back over all these tests and biopsies and talking with the doctors, and unfortunately, it was back with a vengeance. And we have to tell Logan the bad news. Now, just hang on for a second, because I got to put this in context. I grew up in Boston, So did my daughter go? Patriots? That was amazing. Anyway, I won't say that. I'm sorry. I promised I wouldn't say that. Good, right, Keith? Brady, right over there. Okay. So anyway, we grew up in Boston. I have to be perfectly honest with you. We don't say testicles. No, seriously. Come on. It sounds like some kind of prehistoric crustacean. It's not good. It's not good. So we say balls. And I didn't say balls a few minutes ago because I didn't want to shock you all, okay? But that's actually what we say. So now this is how the conversation goes with my daughter and Logan, and I'm there. So we're coming out of the hospital, and she says, Logan, I got some bad news. And he says, what, Mommy? She said, the leukemia is back, and it's in your balls. That's why your ball is so big. And he said, really? She went, yeah, bud, I'm really, really sorry. And we watch as he lowers his head. And we look at each other with tears in our eyes thinking, how much more does he have to go through? And then he lifts his head up and he looks us both in the eye and he says, that's okay. What do you mean it's okay? Why is this okay? And he said, because now I'm gonna call myself King Candy Balls. Where does that even come from? But my daughter does not miss a beat on this one, and she says, well, I want a nickname too. And he says, Mommy, that's so easy. I'm gonna call you Mummy Funbags because of the new boobs you just bought. It's the truth. And I go, well, I want a nickname too. And he goes like this. He looks over at me like this and he goes, gee, Ma, I'm just gonna call you Old Wrinkly Ass. Which is also true. I need more Zumba. Okay, so anyway, now we're back in the thick of it. But it's 10 times worse, 100 times worse, because now we have to add on the radiation as well. And so one day, it was my turn to sleep over and to be in the hospital with him all day and all night. And I noticed something odd about when the doctors and the nurses came in. So I said to him, Logan, have you noticed that when the doctors and the nurses come in to check you, they always say, hi, Logan, can we look down there? And I'm like, why don't they just say, can we look at your balls? I mean, how is that? I mean, that's all they need to say. And he goes, gee, Ma, it's totally weird. They should just say, can we look at your balls? And I said, you know, I have a good mind. This is what I'd like to do. You know, you can't wear any pajamas or anything. You just have that sheet over you. So I'd like to take a marker and draw 2 eyes right on your belly and a big happy face across your thighs, and your penis will be the nose. And when they look down there, they'll really see something, right? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. And I go, no, I can't. And he's like, why? And I said, because your skin is too raw from the radiation. And then I look around and I notice the medical supplies that the nurses left in the room. And there's a roll of sterile cloth. And there's a pair of scissors. So I take the roll and I cut a square about that big. And I take his marker and I make 2 big eyes and a big happy mouth, and I take those scissors and I cut a hole in that cloth about that big. And I say to him, Logan, you know, you're not wearing any pajamas, you just have the sheet over you, so go lay this on your lap and pull your penis out that hole. And he's like, that's great, G-Mom, that's great. And I said, the next time someone walks in that room and says, can I look down there? They sure can. So now he's literally lying in bed like this, just waiting, like, you get what? And I, as the elder of the family, as the grandmother, as the adult, start having second thoughts. Like, wait a minute, this is probably not a good idea. And I'm just about to say to Logan, we can't do this. It's a little inappropriate. And no, I'm just about to say it, and the door to his room opens. And in walks my daughter, his mother, and the supervising nurse. And he's ecstatic. He's like, hi, Mommy, hi, Mommy. He's like trying to get, through all the pleasantries and everything. And he looks over at me like, and I'm like, and I am just praying that they don't say those words. And I wait, and they're talking, and I keep thinking, I might get away with this, I might get away with this. Then all of a sudden, that wonderful supervising nurse who's doing her job says, well, Logan, can I look down there? And everything for me goes in slow motion. And I hear Logan go, sure. And then he takes the cover of the sheet and he wafts it in the air. And I watch as my daughter and the supervising nurse lower their heads and scream. And they're screaming, and Logan is hysterically laughing, right? And finally, which seems like forever, the screams turn to laughter. And I'm a little bit more relaxed. And so the nurse is checking him out, and my daughter walks over to me and lowers her head and looks me in the face and says, very funny. Tell me you didn't take a picture. And I said I didn't. I swear I didn't. I swear I didn't. So now I am happy to tell you that Logan is 2.5 years in remission. We have some struggles that he's going to have to work through, and he's doing it. And on his birthday, every single birthday since he has been in the hospital and out of it, on his birthday, he collects presents and brings them to the clinic. And last year, he brought over 100 gifts to the children at the clinic. He still calls me old wrinkly ass. And I'm still wearing the bracelet that we made that says KCB for King Candy Balls.